Hey, what is up, guys? It's Brendan here, and today we're going to be comparing Stripe versus QuickBooks and which is the better platform for you to process your payments in your small business, mid-sized business, or even a large-sized business. That's what we're going to be comparing here in today's video. Again, QuickBooks and Stripe, and which is really the best option for you when it comes to the overall pricing, fees, and what each of these companies have to offer. Now, before we dive into things, of course, I do want to mention if you do want to check out Stripe or QuickBooks, I will have links linked down below in the video description if you do want to check out either of these companies. Now, speaking about these companies, of course, the bare definition of each of them is because they are a little bit different from one another, is that Stripe is primarily a payment processing platform. They, process payments online, in person. They offer a variety of different types of software integrations for processing payments, whereas QuickBooks is primarily known as an accounting software. They also boast themselves as a small business software in general, and they do also allow you to process payments through their QuickBooks payment platform as well. So you can process payments directly through QuickBooks too. So which makes the most sense for you? It may depend on, again, your overall size of your business. So we're going to be going through the fees and pricing for each of them and what each of those look like as well, between maybe what makes the most sense for you as well, given the different offerings and products and services that Stripe and QuickBooks have to offer. So taking a look here at QuickBooks first, because I figure it's a little bit easier, is that QuickBooks, again, is primarily built around accounting software and bookkeeping software, but you can also process payments through them through their payment processing network, which is where you can process invoices and process payments through the overall platform. So what you're going to want to do is, if you're on the QuickBooks platform, you can go over to payments and banking, and then this will take you over to the QuickBooks Money. Now, QuickBooks Money is by default a free platform, and it allows you to, get paid and pay bills. And through this QuickBooks Money platform, you're able to actually process payments as well, similar to what you would be doing maybe in Stripe. So the QuickBooks Money is a newer offering, as you can see here, but you don't actually need a QuickBooks subscription to get started with QuickBooks Money in order to process payments. Although, do keep in mind that if you had a QuickBooks subscription for their accounting and bookkeeping software, this would also be included in that as well. So maybe if you're already using QuickBooks for your accounting needs, then the QuickBooks Money system essentially is already included. But if you don't need the accounting and bookkeeping, and maybe you're just sending invoices or other software, this payment processing aspect is included for free in that as well. So in comparison, Stripe is a bit different because there is no true subscription cost for most people getting started. It is purely just a payment processing platform. And again, because of QuickBooks Money, you can also get started for free with them as well. So you can also process payments with QuickBooks without the need for any kind of subscription cost, although I do get that a lot of people maybe already are using their other subscription products. So just to help you understand the differences there between the different companies. With Stripe, on the other hand, it is basically just made for processing payments. You can sign up and start processing payments. So where do they differ in terms of their overall fee structure and what might make more sense for you? So taking a look here at QuickBooks, if we scroll down, they essentially give you the QuickBooks Money. You can set up a business bank account. You can also just connect it to your own personal bank account as well for your business. And then they also have the ability to send out invoices. So as you can see here, you have QuickBooks Money, and you can accept payments, whether it be PayPal, Venmo, Apple Pay, credit, debit, or ACH payments. And then they also have those fees here. So these are the fees for QuickBooks Money, or just processing payments through QuickBooks. Is going to be card fees, and this is on invoices and quick requests paid using Visa, MasterCard, Discover, and American Express is all under that 2.99%. Digital wallets, this includes Apple Pay, PayPal, Venmo, that's under that 2.99%. And then ACH bank payments, this is, for invoices or other requests, are then only 1%. And by comparison with Stripe, if you're looking at their overall pricing and fee structure, it is slightly different, although it is very similar in price, but it is slightly different. So their standard is 2.9% plus 30 cents per charge. That would be for your regular payment processing. But one thing to bear in mind, and then they also have the ACH payments, which is, as you can see here, at that 0.8% with a direct cap of $5 as the cap of the fee. And as well, one thing to bear in mind, I know they don't list it here directly, but there is a $10 limit on the ACH bank payment fee. So that's the fee difference there between, the QuickBooks ACH bank payment and the Stripe ACH bank payment. So it is slightly different, slightly cheaper with Stripe versus QuickBooks. But the fee structure might also be a little different depending on cards at that 2.99 versus the 2.9 plus 30 cents. So depending on the size of the charge, that 30-cent difference might make a difference for you. Probably not for most people. But one thing to bear in mind with Stripe in terms of the overall pricing is this actually does not include invoicing. If you are going to be using Stripe for invoicing, that is an additional fee per paid invoice on top of the regular Stripe payments pricing. So it does come out to actually be a little bit more if you are going to be sending out invoices when you're accepting payments. If you're just going to be sending purely a payment link for people to pay through, then Stripe might actually be cheaper. But if you do want to actually send out invoicing, QuickBooks includes the invoicing for free. So that is a nice perk and benefit to going with a company like QuickBooks. The other benefit too is that if you are going to be using an accounting or bookkeeping software, then you also have that integrated with QuickBooks, which also might make sense for you. Maybe if you're already using them and you're just looking to accept payments in your business as well, you can send out those invoices for free, and then you get paid out on them through the QuickBooks payment network, whereas the Stripe payment network, you are going to pay a little bit more for the actual invoicing, of course. Now, one thing to keep in mind with both of these platforms is that this pricing is based on the average consumer or the average business rate. Both of these businesses, both QuickBooks as well as Stripe, they do both offer custom packages for businesses with large payment volumes or unique business models. I know that Stripe actually advertises this here with their volume discounts, country-specific rates, and multi-product discounts. That is something else that QuickBooks does offer. Now, they don't outline it as clearly here on their website, but they can offer, better rates for some people. It does depend. But for most people, these are going to be the rates that you're going to see. And same thing really with Stripe. Those are going to be the standard rates that most people will see. But you can potentially get better fees for processing large payments and large payment volume really through Stripe or through QuickBooks. It does just depend on your business. But Stripe, I would say, is probably better at handling those larger enterprise level clients just because that's their entire focus. Whereas QuickBooks is a little bit more about small business compared to, the really large scale businesses that Stripe might be better for or better suited for offering those volume and more complicated payment integrations. So hopefully this kind of helped you understand some of the similarities and differences with both QuickBooks pricing for processing payments and really as well as Stripe as well, in which might be better for you. Ultimately, if you are a small business and you just need to send payments, Stripe might be a little bit cheaper for you actually, just to send out those payment links and to get paid out. You also do have a little bit more flexibility too in terms of creating, subscription models or other financial systems in terms of how you want to accept payments. It's a little bit easier to get set up with than the way that it operates within QuickBooks. QuickBooks is a little bit more built just around sending out invoices and getting paid out on those invoices. And if you need accounting software, it could make sense to use as well. If you don't, you can still use QuickBooks for free as well. So if you do need the invoicing, especially given that the invoicing is included on QuickBooks, that might make more sense for you if you want the invoicing side of things, or if you want it to link right into your accounting software. Whereas Stripe, it's going to be an extra step for the invoicing and extra cost as well. But they do just have a bit more flexibility in terms of the overall pricing models, in terms of how you can accept payments and just a little bit more complexity that you can get into if you want to. But yeah, hopefully this quick comparison between Stripe and QuickBooks helps you, decide which one might be the better option for you when processing payments in your business. Again, guys, if you want to check out either of the companies mentioned, you can go and check out the links down below in the video description. If you found this video helpful or enjoyed it, then be sure to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button as well, and notification bell so you're notified whenever I upload a new video. But anyway, guys, that was all for today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.